Okay, let's go.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Jenna Talks. Today we'll be talking about the KZN Police fighting against crime. Yeah. So good afternoon everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. We've seen the shootings that have been happening in uh on in KZN, and many police officers were dying in the previous years. So how, like, do you think it's a good thing that the way the police in KZN are dealing with the crimes? Because um you know our law change, like our law for the police, they are supposed to be the defense force. Do you think they're doing a good thing by shooting those criminals? Yeah, man.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
So, for me,
Mm.
I think it's a good thing that the police are shooting the criminals because, first
Mm.
of all, the criminals themselves, they don't hesitate to shoot us when they do in those numbers of women. So, for the fact that police are open, ayakwazi uba aphindisele xa abelentuza ezi-criminals zilentuzayo zingafuni ukuthobela umthetho xa zimisa mhlawumbi, then siqalise udubula then apho singadubula. I think it's a good thing, and loo nto I think izokwenza uba i-crime yehle eSouth Africa. I don't know, but for now it's a good thing. I support it.
Okay. No jobs, Mr. Kahisho, what do you think? Your point matters the most. Like, what's happening, no jobs? Okay. Mr. Kahisho, no jobs. You're saying something?
I sent a message in the chats. Can I talk after?
Let me
Because I'm
see.
not in a good space for now to talk.
Let me see. No, I'm not sharing the screen. Okay, no problem. No jobs. You were saying something? Okay. Okay. Here's a question. I wanted to ask, do you think the way the police in KZN are dealing with the issue, with the criminals, do you think the other provinces should do the same thing? Like,
I think so. I think these provinces, for example, Gauteng, Western Cape, Eastern Cape, because they are the provinces that have high crime, the high rate of crime. So I think Nazo they should follow what KZN is doing, because which means even those easy crime, because
Like,
now
you guys, can you guys hear me?
yeah.
How can Nzabula
Yeah. Then
Nzabula?
the Wi-Fi is really bad.
As I was saying,
Yeah.
as I was saying, now criminals of KZN that they speak with i-KZN, amaphoyisa e-KZN aqhuba kanjani, they will run most to other provinces ezindizimalileyo i-Western Cape bayokwenza i-crime kuloo ndawo. And then what is the use ke ngoku kulwe i-crime e-KZN, i-crime iphele kwasakini.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You see, these days, since there is a high unemployment rate here in South Africa and the crime rate has increased, I think that might work, you know. But the thing is, don't forget that those people also have family. I know. Okay. Do you think is there any other way which this kind of thing can be solved? Like without involving the shootings and stuff, because you know shooting someone to die is another thing, you know. Like at least if they wound that person, that's better, but shooting to death, it's something else.
But now you think that the police are not just shooting at them, they are the ones that first abaqalisa ushuta into yamapolisa, then the police respond. So I don't think there is any way abangayilwa ngayo le ndaba, because even if bayabanjwa baswa ejele bazawuphuma, xa bephuma they do the same thing, they don't change. And also nathi sine-families as victims zabo abantu, because when they come there's a small shot, they don't think twice or try to shoot. They will shoot you, and they will shoot you to kill you, not just to warn you. They will strip away that like i-crime of South Africa ingalwa ngayo unless they are shooting by police. There's no other way.
Yeah. So I think this might also work on reducing the protection fee thingy, like because most people are struggling with the protection fee thing. So I think maybe that might work, because you see these days people are even killing each other for that protection fee thing. So if the police get involved and do the same thing that they're doing in Durban by shooting to kill, whereby they end up saying minus one problem. I think that might work. I think that might work, because you know people are crying out there because of these criminals, and people don't feel safe walking around with their cell phones, especially in Gauteng, I think. And even here at night, not all people can walk around with their phones or be having their having their wallets and stuff, because they're afraid of being robbed or getting shot or being stabbed, right? So I think that might work. You see, I think that might work because you know, as they said, minus one problem. Yeah, these guys are a serious problem. You see, why do harm to other civilians or other people in order for your own benefit? I mean the criminals. I'm not talking about the police right now. Like the criminals, yeah, they can hurt a person like really bad. Really bad. You know, they've killed someone, which was a police officer. I know someone who was close to this police officer, so it kind of like hurts all the time whenever they think about this person. So I think that might also protect the police, as you've indicated that you see they don't think twice when they want to shoot when they shoot at the police or the civilians or the people that they're gonna do harm on them. So I think that might work now, because they also like the police must change, like I think their rules, because the one of saying the police must be shot first in order for them to shoot back. You see, that's why the police end up dying, and that's not a good thing, you know. So yeah, I think our government should change law. Should change some few rules, or on you see. What do you think?
Hello, guys. I think now I'm in a good space.
All right. Correct.
I'm in a good space. But now
Yeah.
I'm opening Ilanduza up.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Okay.
constitution.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm trying to check about code because I searched in the internet.
Yeah.
Ukuba, okay, before talking about searching in the internet, this thing, police are like using force or to fight to combat crime.
Yeah.
It goes like with things that they are doing. Are they legal? Are they ethical? Yeah, because if remember they are police, they are dealing with the law. So any move that they take in fighting crime, in protecting the community, in giving their service to abantu bokuhlala, it should be lawful. Yeah. So that's where I went to the internet to search uba lento amapolisa that they did in KZN, was it done according to the law? Was it legal or illegal? So that's where I came up across Ilanduza, a law that says section 49 subsection 1, it says police, they are allowed, police officers are allowed to use a reasonable force when attempting to arrest someone who resists or flees the scene. Yeah, so which means this includes the use of deadly force. If let's say this person is running away from the scene or is resisting amapolisa or shooting amapolisa,
Yeah.
the police officers, they are allowed to use to an extent of deadly force. Yeah, so kuyo yonke lento, I am sure that amapolisa, they have handled it accordingly. The reason being, as shootings, they do not start because amapolisa, they are the ones who shoot first,
Yeah.
but they began because the criminals, they were the ones abaqale badumisa. So if now I shoot you as a police officer, umthetho uthi I have to shoot to kill. Yabo. So the way that amapolisa ase-KZN, the premier, the minister as well, and everyone who's in the police force is using, okay, the way that they are dealing with this situation, for me it is right. For me it is legal. For me it is lawful. Yabo. So as much as it is lawful, now into kumele ke ngoku sizibuze yona, what happens to the other provinces? I think somehow, if violence, not really violence, force, reasonable force is the only option that is left for our police to combat crime. For me personally, I think that's what's remaining. Ukuze these criminals not to really pay attention, because nabo ingqondo yabo, if the police are shooting at us, then we are going to create war. Yabo. So I think that's the best way. Like for example, kukhona lo mntu ebebhizi nge-protection fee apha, kuthiwa ebebhizi nge-protection fee apha eCape Town. So the person went to Eastern Cape to start i-protection fee that side. Akhange ahlale ixesha elide, bamdubula and he died. Yeah, so some sections, Eastern Cape, they are free from laa protection fee because that person obezama ukuyi-instilla laa nto ye-protection fee is no more. So reasonable force, not violence. Reasonable force, according to a constitution, it is right for our police to deal with crime in that manner.
There's this thing I've seen. Is it? Let me. No, what's happening now? Hey, bana. Ish. Okay. I've been thinking, about how about these crimes that have been happening recently, and how this GNU has been dealing with these crimes and been dealing with the criminals who are behind the bars, who were celebrating or enjoying themselves before the GNU, and ever since the GNU took over, now they're no longer enjoying themselves as the way they used to before. I've seen the GNU is working. You remember last time we talked about the GNU and we said let's see on what they going to do. But so far I've seen they've improved, especially with this thing. But regarding to the shootings in KZN, I understand like they were fighting with this thing. They're dealing with that guy. You see that guy that was shot there on that picture was holding, I think it's an AK-47, if I'm not mistaken. So, like, they should be also be searching how are these people having access to those kind of guns, because those are big guns. Those are big guns, and a person is not allowed to like have that kind of a gun. A person is allowed to have like the one that's the shotgun, not not an AK-47, because the AK-47 is kind of like yeah, it's dangerous, man. You see, and for sure there are many criminals which are having this kind of guns, especially if you may go searching around these neighborhoods, or like you see that there are those type of guns, and they ask yourself, how do they get like how do they get hold of those guns? You see. Like, remember the time before the GNU, people used to get away with crime. Um, the crime rate. I know that the crime rate is increased, but the way that the police in Taiwan are dealing with these crimes, I think it's a good way that they're dealing with these crimes, man. So.
Before saying that, how do they get these guns? For example, talking about La GNU,
Yeah.
I don't think this part of fighting a crime, it is because of a GNU. I think it was something that came from an individual, because it's happening only in Durban, of which each GNU, it is countrywide. So the shooting took place only in KZN, and a crime that is taking place countrywide. So if now you would say each GNU, which means Lendo, should spread to the other provinces that have to the protection fee, isandokala go KZN, and it has been taking place in Cape Town. I don't know since when, but the KZN, they were able to fight it, and they are still fighting it. But up in Cape Town, we are not doing much to fight. Let me not say protection free. We are not doing much to fight crime. We are not doing much. Like every weekend, things that are coming up. For example, last week Sunday, one guy was shot dead not far from where I stay. Reason being, he went to collect protection fee where he was not supposed to collect protection fee. Not long ago, Omyu Mama told me that there was a man that opened his stand. He was a street vendor. So iskopo. He started recently. And then there was a car that parked by his stand, and then saw, okay, he's making money, and they kidnapped him. Kidnapper took him somewhere, better, shy, and then they demanded money. He gave them the little that he had because they started to stand. So he gave them the little that he had, and then Bamieka Wahab. But they told him that you still owe us.
No.
So every week here in Cape Town, up in Kailicha, there is shooting. Yesterday, there was a shooting in Philippi. You know what happened?
What
Hey,
happened?
you guys, you guys, Abapila, like in Town, you live nice, man. Life is good for you. Philippi, what happened yesterday? Kokona was the provincial law enforcement. So they went there, Philippi. Kukhona amaphela imoto ezihambayo, but bazibiza amaphela here in Cape Town, eGugulethu. So these guys, they went there doing a roadblock, which is part of their job. And then the taxi owners, they went there, not far from the provincial law enforcement. Bejika taxi not to go that way because a provincial law enforcement is that way and they will impound their cars if akukho mhlawumbi license, permit, the car is not roadworthy and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So they were there turning imoto. You understand?
Yeah.
And then the guys, law enforcement, provincial law enforcement, went to the taxi owners and said, guys, you are disturbing us because we are doing our work here. And then they said, we are not disturbing you. Nime lapaya, tina sime up. So we are telling the taxis not to go that side, to go that way. The guys, provincial law enforcement, they moved from there to another place. And then Amanyo no taxi, they also moved to another place not far from where they are. And then they were doing the same thing, turning e-taxis.
Yes.
So now the guys, they started to put on a bulletproof. When the taxi drivers saw that they were putting on it bulletproof, they started shooting.
Yes, yes.
Broad daylight. Man, I'm telling you.
Yes, yes.
Broad daylight. So you see, I think la reasonable force is the only option because Kubo abantu like citizens that are not police officers, it's not a reasonable force. It's violence. They are using violence to make their way to where they want to be. Yeah. So now talking about land, I don't think Muti it's GNU. It's something that the Premier of KZN decided to do. But this is how we are going to fight crime. So if Nalape, Cape Town, Western Cape, and other provinces, premiers, they decide, this is how we are going to fight crime, then it is going to work out on their behalf. So now going to how are they getting hold of these weapons? According to the story, News 24 that they published about a police officer, a former police officer, who sold guns to gangsters. A money back, like in the Cape Flats. So he sold guns to gangsters. And as a story city, those guns that the police officers sold were linked to the death or deaths of 89 children. Put aside women, put aside men, but only children. 89 children died because of the guns that were sold by that police officer. So, as a weapons, that's how these guys, they get it. They make a connection with the police officers, former police officers, and then from there, they get hold of those guns. So yeah, that's my take.
Understand. Seems like there's only two of us here. I don't know what happened to the others. I don't know if it's their Wi-Fi or they got kicked out or what. Plus there's only few minutes left because the time was consumed by the thing, by the way my laptop was misbehaving. So yeah, as you indicated, I think other provinces should apply the same law that the KZN is applied, for on how to deal with this crime, because people these days, like especially even in Limpopo, man, you see, the way they're doing this thing, they're robbing people. It's something else, man. Like something else. We know these provinces, other provinces, like the most safest provinces, but now they're no longer safe because of this crime rate. You see, I wanted to say, I once saw this joke, whereby they were talking about these kingpins or robbers, saying the next heist is going to be in KZN. And the robbers are like, what? I couldn't stop laughing, man. We're living in another country.
Hey, it's tough, man. It's tough living in South Africa. Like, it's nice to live in South Africa.
Yeah.
Because of the way we are as citizens.
Yeah.
Like, you see, man, South Africa itself, it is another country, man, I'm telling you. Like, if you watch the videos on TikTok, things that people do, man, they are crazy. They are doing crazy things just to entertain people who are going to be watching those videos. Who wouldn't want to live in a country like that? Some countries, they don't have such privileges. I would say it is a privilege to have people who are going to entertain us in that way. Yeah, but somehow it also becomes sad to say that it is not safe to be an African. As much as kumnandi to be like a South African, to live in South Africa, to live in the locations where you see, like is it this being as a guy that are going to bring entertainment to you. At the same time, we have to think about safety. It's not safe. You can't be outside Gabo 7, 8 anymore in South Africa. Let me not say South Africa, but in Cape Town, you can't do that.
Yes.
Izindlu ngoku abantu as early as 7 o'clock, okay, as early as we are inside the house, the better. We lock the gates, we lock the doors, burglar doors. Wonke umuntu ngaphakathi endlini. Switch off the lights if need be.
Even in Gauteng,
because it's not safe.
Even in Gauteng,
it's not safe.
Even in Gauteng, man, like you have to make sure that people now are making sure that they have butlers on their houses. Even in Limpopo, man, I was surprised when I called my mom and she told me that now they're having butlers, and then I asked why, because back then in Limpopo, man, we could even leave the house, you see, not locked, and go to town and come back.
Yeah.
Nothing been stolen. But these days, man, like it's something else, man. It's something else. And there's this crime, man. This thing of telling people that these people are dangerous, man. I don't know if they're using, I don't know, African black magic or what. Whereby they will be like, Kakisho. They'll be like, hey man, I need here's a card. I need you to withdraw 1,000. Here's a pin. I don't trust you. Can you go to that FNP? Can you go to FNP ATM and withdraw money? Then be like, okay, no problem. Then obviously they'll behave that they're gonna give you like this amount of money for withdrawing this amount of money. So they'll be like, I don't trust you. Can you leave your phone so that I can also trust you, or leave something that you are with so that they can trust you? Then that's how like they've used a thingy, black magic on you.
But the thing is, hey man, if he doesn't trust me, why doesn't he go by himself?
Yeah, the thing is, I think these guys are using black African magic or something, because it's not the first time hearing that someone in Limpopo they took his or her phone using this kind of way. And I ask myself, how?
I heard that as well. I heard that before. It's not the first time hearing it.
I don't know if
I don't know how.
I don't know if they're using African magic or what.
Yeah, I don't know. But man, to conclude this thing of police fighting a crime, dealing with crime in this way, as much as like community members are supporting this aggressive police tactics, or this reasonable force, as means of crime prevention, there will be people who will not really support. Let's say, for example, like analysts, they will not really support Oguti. This is the way they should handle. If they do handle it in this way, then it should be like, it should operate within the bounds of the law. It should operate within the law, as I said about that section 49 subsection 1 of the Constitution. So that's how it should be, which means what the analysts or the experts may say and what the community members support, it needs to balance the need for public safety within the rights of the individual. So if there's no balance between what the analysts, what the experts are saying, and what the community members are supporting, this thing will end up affecting the community members, will end up affecting those who are witnessing the shootings that are taking place, like Ekhlane, because these shootings, they are not taking place in an open field, like soldiers fighting a war in a certain place. No, these shootings, they are happening where we stay. So kukhona like crossfire, idlule bullet ibethe like a child, or someone else was just walking past.
We have few seconds which are left, man. Like thank you for tuning in, for being able to like address